prevailing right now in Kenya as Justice Nwita. That's the judge that actually presided on the case of Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. That was the judge that actually presided and made the ruling that the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria is actually illegal. The judge finally burst out and made it known that TINUBU government must not disobey the court order of Kenya. That if they are disrespecting Nigerian judiciary, they cannot disrespect Kenya judiciary, because as it stands now, the Kenya judiciary is standing with international law at the moment, and Nigeria must obey it. That's what the justice is saying now. It's finally out a few hours ago that the justice in question, Justice Nwita, finally make a call across to justice in charge of Nnamdi Kanu case in Nigeria. He finally called the judge in charge of Nnamdi Kanu case in Nigeria. He said they need to stop the case with immediate effect, that the trial is illegal. You will hear things for yourself. Come and hear what they said. You will hear things your ear will blow in this very video. So I will be playing the full video. If you can share the video, just go to share it. Share it to the social media platforms. Let's go viral. And if you can share it, just like the video, like it, give it a thumb up, so that it will be recommended for us. If you're a true lover of Nnamdi Kanu, a true follower of Nnamdi Kanu, and a true lover of BIAFRANS, just drop a love emoji for Nnamdi Kanu at the comment section of this video as we roll on. Just stay connected. I'll come back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG Watch TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now. It makes sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG Watch TV. For those of you that are fresh on this channel, for those of you coming across this channel for the very first time due to the video you watch right now, just do what to click the resuscitation button appearing on your video screen, and at the same time click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily let you to know. Nobody ever expected what happened few hours ago. Nobody expected that Kenya can come this far. Nobody expected that the judge that presided on the case of Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya can actually come this way. This judge is not taking nonsense at the moment. You know, after they make the ruling in Kenya court, the judge was actually expecting that Nnamdi Kanu should be freed up in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu should be released in Nigeria detention, but a lot of people were looking forward for the release of Nnamdi Kanu after the Kenya court said that the extradition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria is illegal, and they term it kidnap. They said that one is not extradition, that it was a kidnap. Now, they were looking forward for Nigerian government to actually allow Nnamdi Kanu to go, but they never allowed Nnamdi Kanu to go. And the Kenya court asked them a question: why are you still keeping him in custody? But the DSS, according to a report, they said they don't know how Nnamdi Kanu gets to Nigeria, that they can't release him and all of that. You see things for yourself now. The Kenya judge finally called the judge in charge of Nnamdi Kanu case in Nigeria. Come and hear things. This man is not taking it easy at the moment. The judge in Kenya is not taking it easy on them at the moment. I will play the full video. You hear things for yourself. You will hear it into your ear. So I would like us to stay connected to the end of this video. If you can share the video as you're watching it, just want to share it. Share it to the social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just want to like the video. Like it, give it a thumb up, so that it will be recommended for us. If you're a true lover of Nnamdi Kanu, just drop a heart for him and comment section on this video. Drop a love emoji for him, because it's not easy for them to actually prove the father of this man. According to a report, they prove a lot of his families, they prove a lot of his boys, and the same man had been kept in detention for more than 4 years wearing the same clothes. Wearing the same clothes in court. It is not easy for someone to be in detention and wearing the same clothes for more than 4 years. That's what has been happening, just because he's fighting for the cause of the people. Yes, they said they actually wanted to negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu, and that's what TINUBU government said. But they said that before, but according to a report, they came out again. They said Nnamdi Kanu did not meet up with their terms and conditions and all of that. That was what they said, and they said they can't release Nnamdi Kanu on that very ground. Now, as the matter remains now, the moment the judge in charge of Nnamdi Kanu case, Justice Nwita, the moment this man began to mount prayer on them from Kenya that he have made the ruling in court and they need to obey the court order from Nigeria. That's what this man is saying. But the moment the man is mounting prayer on them, the TINUBU government finally come up with the fact that, oh, they want to negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu again. The same negotiation they've come up with before, and they cancelled. They said Nnamdi Kanu did not meet up with the terms. And according to what Nnamdi Kanu said, he said they want him to sign a particular stuff, and the moment he signs it, he will not be able to agitate for Biafran again. Yes, they really want him to go, but if he should sign that in, it is actually political, and he won't be able to agitate for the Biafra again. And it is this same Biafran cause that his father go for, a lot of his boys go for, a lot of people puftalize for. Yes. Now the same Biafran, they said they should not agitate for it again. He said he will never sign it. So Nnamdi Kanu lawyer make it to the general public that the agreement that they come up with Nnamdi Kanu on the release of Nnamdi Kanu is actually political. Now they say they want Nnamdi Kanu to go now. The moment they see that Kenya is mounting prayer on them, that the extradition of Nnamdi Kanu and the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya is actually political. Now the moment the judge in charge of Nnamdi Kanu case, Justice E.C. Enwita, the moment he made that ruling in the court, in Kenya there, they first of all charged Kenya for 120 million naira damages for Nnamdi Kanu. 120 million damages for Nnamdi Kanu, and that's around 10 million chilis in Kenya. 10 million Kenya chilis to say sorry and apologize for Nnamdi Kanu. And if Nigeria refuses to obey the court order, they will mount that same prayer on Nigeria again. Nigerian government will pay much money heavily. They will pay much and they will still release the same Nnamdi Kanu. That's what is happening. At the moment Nigerians say that they're actually mounting prayer on them from Kenya, because according to report now, you see things for yourself. The Kenya judge in charge of Nnamdi Kanu case called the judge in charge of Nnamdi Kanu case in Nigeria that they don't have the right to continue the trial again, since the arrest and the extradition is actually illegal. That shows that the detention is illegal and the court trial is illegal. They said they must not continue the court trial. You will hear from the judgment, you hear from the horseman yourself. You will hear things for yourself in this very video. Don't just rush me. You will see things the way it goes. And the second report is actually coming in and is flooding in right now, that all the judges that are presided on Nnamdi Kanu case from the beginning of the case of Nnamdi Kanu from 2021, before Justice Omontosho got there, all the judges are going to face international panel. African International Panel. That's what they actually say. They said they need to bring out all the judges to face panel at the moment, and the process is actually ongoing allegedly. That's what is actually happening. The process is ongoing allegedly. Why will you make all those kind of ruling on this man from the beginning of the case? Why do you make the case to linger to this level? Even when the rendition is actually illegal, why do you waste time on the case? Are you not aware that the rendition and even the detention of this man is actually on illegal ground? Those are the questions that African Union is actually asking. Now, you see things for yourself. First of all, hear what Nnamdi Kanu said. Nnamdi Kanu have said these things before. What is happening between the judges in Kenya and even Nigerian judges right now? Nnamdi Kanu have said it before. Now they said they must not try Nnamdi Kanu in any court in Nigeria again. You see things for yourself. First of all, hear from Nnamdi Kanu, and during the video, you hear what the judge said. You hear what they say to themselves. Just stay connected. If you can share the video, share it. If you can share it, just like it. I'm coming back again.
The enemies are doing all they can in every way possible to suppress this very truth, but they cannot succeed, they cannot prevail. As you all know, I have been singing it like a song for very many months now, that Facebook is working with the enemy, but I'm very, very glad that Biafrans have now switched and are listening to us via IPOB community radio app. We must proceed this evening. I have dispensed with every nicety. I am going to start with the words of a man that I respect immensely. His name is Pa Ayo Adebanjo, one of the leaders of Oduduwa, a man of immense honor and integrity, a man I respect each and every blessed day of my life because he is consistent. I love people who are consistent, people who speak the truth always, regardless of the consequences. He's an elder statesman, one of the few who can genuinely lay claim to that very title. I am starting this evening with what Pa Ayo Adebanjo said. He granted an interview to a journalist, And the journalist asked me a very simple question. Please listen very carefully. Because I said this evening I'm going to tell you the reason why I call black people animals. I'm going to explain to you the reason why I call Nigeria a zoo. I'm going to tell you the reason why I believe that anybody who refers to him or herself as a Nigerian is an animal. This evening you will know why I insult you, for those of you who feel insulted by the truth we preach on this very platform, because I have no apologies to tender. If you are foolish, you must recognize your foolishness and perhaps repent from it. But if you decide to go on wallowing in stupidity and ignorance, that's entirely up to you. It is my responsibility, therefore, to bring it to your attention, or should I say, to call your attention to it. What is your take on the issue of power rotation? Ayo Adebanjo was asked, and he said, listen very carefully, please. Review the Constitution first, and other things we will follow. Everybody believes if you don't follow the North, which is Fulani Janjaweed, you can't get to power because of their population, which I have said is fraudulent, which I have said is fraudulent, and they have not defeated me. The colonial people rigged the population census for them, and they have not denied it. Britain rigged the population census. And the Janjaweed in the North have not defeated it, not for one single day. Everybody knows it's true. What Spy Adebanjo is trying to bring to our attention is to lay the foundation of the fraudulent existence of the zoo. What Spy Adebanjo is trying to say is that the zoo, Nigeria to some of you, is fraudulent. In other words, Nigeria as a country, as a contraption, is an exercise in futility and falsehood. Not me saying it. Now, let us take it one after the other. People believe from the South, before you can become a governor, you must go to the North and kneel down and bow down before them. They have all done it. We know Imo State very well. Go closer to them. We know the man called, is it Isamu or whatever the idiot is called, from Edo State. We also know about Bajabia Mila, I think that is his name, the Speaker of the House, how they went to the North and knelt down before Fulani. They tied the sheet on their heads. Some of them looking like bandage, like people who were wounded in an accident. To pledge loyalty and allegiance to Fulani in order for them to ascend into political power. Now I ask you this very simple question. People who behave this way, do they deserve to be called human beings? That's what I'm asking. People that have this type of mindset, do they deserve to be called human beings? You have to go and kneel before people that were rigged into power by the British. Their numbers were inflated. They gave them political power to wield and to exercise as they see fit. With that, over the years, they have reduced you to nothing. All of you grammarians from the South, they have reduced you to nothing. All you do every blessed day is, how do I serve Fulani Janjaweedism in order for me and my family to survive? And we have said no to that. That is what Paya Adebanjo is saying. Adebanjo said, some people think that you have to follow the North for you to survive. I'm getting at somewhere. I want you to have all these things in mind before we go to the substance of what we have for you this evening, so you can now, perhaps, should I say, link what we are saying together so that it makes sense to you. We want to preach this gospel in such a way that even the most foolish black person in Africa will be able to understand it. What is Nigeria to some of you? According to Paya Adebanjo, who is over 90 years old, have seen everything. He is saying that you people from the South, by which we mean Oduduwa and Biafra, you think that you must follow the North for you to get into political power. The colonial people, Britain, He didn't want to say Britain, but of course, who created this region of Britain? Britain. Rigged census. Britain wanted Fulani to have power. Britain wanted to control a set of idiots. I'm going to prove it to you later on. The reason why I insult Nigerians, I want to prove to the whole world that it is only in the zoo, Nigeria, that people go to university and they come out more stupid than when they actually gained admission. Not me, Paya Adebanjo is telling you Britain rigged the election. Are you telling me that Ohanese doesn't know the election was rigged and population census rigged in 1957, 1953, 1957? Is that what they're saying? Of course they know. Don't Pandef know, Pandef knows. I'm calling those that call themselves elite. Don't Afenifere know. Afenifere knows that the zoo Nigeria was fraudulent from the beginning. How about Middle Belt? Middle Belt Forum, do you know that the zoo was fraudulently put together from the beginning? The answer is yes. How about Arewa Consultative Forum? Arewa, do you know that the zoo was fraudulently put together from the beginning? The answer is yes. Now, why have you decided, all of you, why have you decided to continue in that fraud? Do you see why I call them animals? I need you to understand this. Only an animal will know that it's going to be slaughtered. And they are feeding him to fatten him up for slaughter, and he will keep eating until one day he will be so fat that they will slaughter the animal during a festival or during a ceremony. If you know, all of them they know. If you ask anybody, senior advocate or junior advocate, intermediate advocate of law, all these people, if you ask them, how do you best describe the foundation of Nigeria as Britain left it, or in 1960 they will tell you it was fraudulent, it was a fraud. Everybody knows that. Britain lied. Britain wanted people they can control. Britain cannot control Yoruba. Britain cannot control Igbo. They cannot. They cannot control Duduwa. They cannot control BIAFRANS. They know. They needed people they can control. After all, there was no war of colonization in the north. When I mean north, I mean Arewa, Sharia North, the Janjaweed territory. As soon as they saw the white man, they rolled over. There was no war. Benin Empire fought. To the last man, we fought. Ekumeku was formed eventually, and we fought every inch of the way. Yoruba fought to an extent. The Janjaweed never fought anybody. The white man came, they rolled over, they said, oh, come, anything you want. Britain said, oh, here comes Loyo people. Anybody who lives or who has ever lived in the UK or ever walks there can bear me witness. In an office, if you come to an office, and you claim you are intelligent, and you're a black person and you claim you're very smart, you're very intelligent, go and ask them, how many of them ever made it to senior managerial positions? You can never make it. But once you begin to behave like Frank Bruno, like an idiot, they see you as one of theirs. Like Chris Akapusi, once you begin to behave like an Uncle Tom, an idiot, they give you all the promotion in the world. Go and ask. That was exactly what they did in Fulani territory. And that is what Pa Ayo Adebanjo is alluding to. They said that politics is a game of numbers. Which number, he asked? Rigged number? Everybody knows in the zoo they rig elections. Tell me how we know it is common sense. Now, all of a sudden, America is saying we will impose sanctions on anybody who rigs elections in the zoo. Britain, out of shame, that woman, out of shame, followed suit. We will also deny visa to all election riggers. So you all know, both US and Britain, you know there's been rigging from day one. You know the rig elections. But every 4 years, fools will line up and ask you to go and vote. They know that the solution lies in you boycotting the electoral process. They understand it, but they will never let you because you are foolish. You vote, they rig. You vote, they rig. And you keep voting. Are you not an idiot? I am asking people, you keep voting and they keep rigging, you keep voting and they keep rigging, putting whoever they like. Hope Uzodinma was the final insult. Final insult. From number 4 to number 1. Before your eyes, and some people will still have the temerity, the sense of, sense of I wouldn't call it reasoning, sense of idiocy, to say go and vote. But they know the solution doesn't lie in voting. Why? Because Britain corrupted that process since 1957. They corrupted it till today. This is why I call Nigerians fools. This is why I call them animals. Because they can't reason, they cannot reason very well. Baya Adebanjo is very kind. Very, very kind. Everywhere in the world you go to, people who dwell in the desert are few and far between for very simple reason of nature, because there is no food, there is no vegetation, you don't have rivers and all the rest of it. So people there, they don't procreate as much as people who live in forested regions. Go everywhere in the world, the closer you get to the sea, the closer you get into places where there are vegetation, the more the population. It is simple common sense. The more the population, desert go. How many people have you seen in the desert before in your whole life? And I'm asking you. They are the most sparsely populated region of the world. But Britain, in the zoo they created Nigeria. Somehow they reversed it. Britain is now telling us who are educated, some of us that went to school, that only in Nigeria are people more in the desert than in rainforest. Where has it ever happened before? I said, where? Show me. That is how people who are educated, that is how they reason. Now you see why I call them fools. Why I call them Nigerians and why I call them animals, because they cannot reason. They went to school. All their years of PhD and mastering everything and speaking convoluted grammar that they don't even understand. I am asking them, where else in the world are people in the desert more than those in the rainforest? Show me where in the world. Zoo people, are you listening very carefully? Now I want to say to the whole world that this is the extent of the stupidity of a black man. There is no principle, no consistency, none whatsoever. Everybody wants to feed their stomach. After stuffing your stomach full with loot, you now feed your children. That is why they have no honor, no integrity. Absolutely none. That is why I call them animals. Now you understand me? A pastor, he has converted to Islam because of election, because Fulani will rig him into power, because Britain will do nothing. Britain gives Fulani the power. They can do whatever they like. They can kill, they can anything. Fulani bandits can slaughter everybody. Britain can never say a word. Never. They've been compromised. Now do you understand it? A pastor in a those state elections has now converted Allahu Akbar. They are now reciting the creed of Islam over his head. He wants to get into power. Do you see how they roll in Africa? Do you see why Africa is very poor? People have no principled stance on any issue. Nobody believes in anything and says, on this thing I stand, come hell or high water. That is why they endlessly spend their time speculating on what I am doing or what we are going to do. Do you understand it now? He's a pastor. That was what Ayo Adebanjo just said. Because I went to school, I'm learned, I can put things together. When Ayo Adebanjo said that thing, I had to go somewhere to go and look for proof and evidence. And here is the proof and evidence. They have to go to the north. I didn't want to actually reference what Hope Uzodinma did. I didn't want to reference what Obiano did. I didn't want to reference what Bajabi Amila, whatever his name is did. I am going to what is happening now, not in the past. Although elections coming up, the person representing APC, or should I say running under the banner of APC, has gone to the APC stalwarts in the north, Alamajiri, to go and get power from them. A pastor of the Holy Book, a pastor of New Testament. You are now hearing Allahu Akbar. Did you hear that? That is Africa for you. That is why I call Nigerians animals. This evening, every point I give you, you will agree with me that no group of people living under such conditions should be worthy to be called human beings. Not worthy at all. Now listen very carefully. That one is gone. He's contesting, isn't he? Now, his godfather is Oshomole. Adam's Oshomole. That's ugly or that time. Let me tell you what Oshomole said about him. All of you have seen it. But because, Africans, we have sawdust brain. Our brain do not retain information. It's like a sieve. You pour it in, it drains away. We don't retain information. I now want to ask you a question. And I want to ask Adam Oshomole this very simple question. In all my life in public service, I have never ever seen or heard a liar, greedy, corrupt, dishonest, and self-centered person like Iyamu, the same idiot that abandoned Christianity to go to the north to go and look for Islamic, should I say, glory, or should I say glorious path to power. His godfather that brought him out to Oshomole said that this man who now left Christianity to go and join Islam because he wants to win election in Edo State, is that he has never in his life seen somebody or heard of a liar, greedy, corrupt, dishonest, and self-centered person like Iyamu. He's a fraudster, masquerading himself as a pastor. These are the words of Oshomole. That this man carrying the Bible, quoting Paul, quoting John, quoting St. Luke, the man is a fraud, as most of them are with the Bible. They are fraudsters, they are criminals, they are preaching the gospel of Christ because of money and nothing else. 99.9% of them. Listen, according to the person that brought him out, his godfather said that he is a self-centered person, he is a fraudster, using the Bible to deceive the gullible. He has gone to the north to go and receive the blessing of Islam because he wants to win. He wants to be reigning to power. Now the question is, why is Oshomole then supporting him? Why is it that somebody who is in Lagos State, TINUBU, is worried about obesity and now asking you to vote for Iyamu? Because he himself is a Muslim. So if they get a Muslim governor in Edo State, all good for them. Whereas some of you are looking at Nigeria as a project or maybe as a country, they see it as a religious enclave. And as I have said to some of you before, the leader of Islam in the zoo is the Sultan. The loyalty of TINUBU is not to Afenifere, not to the Oni of Ife, not to the Alafin of Oyo. His loyalty is to the Sultan. So if you don't know, let me tell you now.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. You can see that there are some countries that actually they don't play with their judicial system. And a good example is Kenya. You notice that Kenya, they not playing with their judicial system. For them to come this far and make it known to the general public that if Nnamdi Kanu is not being extradited, that they give Nigeria TINUBU government an ultimatum. He said Nnamdi Kanu must be extradited back to Kenya, where they actually brought him for. It is Kenya that they brought him for, though the DSS are saying that they don't know how it goes to Nigeria. And some people are saying that, what Kenya government is actually saying as regards the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu, that is a lie and all of that Nnamdi Kanu was actually rendited legally. But the fact remains, is it not Kenya that all this rendition and extradition illegal thing happen? Is it not in Kenya that the arrest actually take place? Is it not Kenya that will have the authentic information? Why are they saying that Kenya is lying? Can Kenya lie on themselves and still pay up to 10 million chilis for Nnamdi Kanu rendition? Can Kenya be lying and they will still pay approximately 120 million naira to say sorry to Nnamdi Kanu? Who is ready to lose this money? Those are the questions that we need to ask. Now, they make the ruling in Kenya court that the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya court is actually illegal because that man, that judge, Justice E.C. Enweta, actually delivered the judgment on that very Tuesday. The man delivered the judgment and he said Nigeria needs to follow the due process and they need to obey the court order in Kenya. They need to obey the court order from Kenya and release Nnamdi Kanu with immediate effect. That's the one side of the news. Now, the fact remains, according to the report, they said all the judges that have presided on Nnamdi Kanu case before, why are they turning a blind eye on the fact that the rendition is actually on an illegal ground? Why are they turning a blind eye on the fact that the rendition and the detention of this man is on illegal ground? Why are they doing like that? So they said they need to come and face African Union International Panel. You know, all these judges and all of that, they have international panel and all of that. You know, judges actually face panel. For those of you that are not aware that judges faces panel, judges faces panel, and the judges that have been in charge of Nnamdi Kanu case, they listed out their names. They said all of them are going to face international panel. And the process, according to reports, allegedly is actually ongoing based on this same concept. That the illegal detention of Nnamdi Kanu, why is it staying in court for more than 4 years? Why is it staying in detention for more than 4 years? What's in the Nigerian constitution? How long can someone stay in detention? How long can someone stay in detention? According to report of what I heard, it's 48 hours. After 48 hours, you need to charge the person to court, and the person is said that the person is granted bail and will come into court from his house and be facing a trial, or the person will be coming from remand, which is in prison, and be coming from remand to the court and be facing his trial. Why is Nnamdi Kanu remaining in DSS detention for more than 4 years? What are they protecting about him? Those are the questions that a lot of people are actually asking. And the same Nnamdi Kanu finally fell victim of a lot of dangerous sicknesses and a lot of head deterioration in that very DSS facility. It's God that really saved his life. If not for the God that stayed in his back, that man would have poofed in DSS detention. Now, everything that the judge in Kenya is doing right now is doing everything possible for justice to reign and for the human rights of Nnamdi Kanu not to be trampled upon forever and forever. That's what this man is actually doing. Now they said nobody should try Nnamdi Kanu as far as Nigerian court is concerned. Nobody have the legal ground to try Nnamdi Kanu. All the trial that he have been facing before, they call it illegal trial, that he cannot continue on that trial again. Since the extradition and the rendition is actually illegal, they need to extradite him back to Kenya, stop all his trial and let him go. Then Nigerian, whenever Nnamdi Kanu go, whichever country he goes, they can go to the country to arrest him legally. But since they have not arrested him legally, they do not have any ground to try him in any legal court in anywhere in the world. That's what the Kenya judge actually said. You see things for yourself. Just drop your opinion in the comment section of this video. Feel free, say your mind. Say your mind in the comment section of this video. As I'm gonna dedicate another one for you, because Nnamdi Kanu is already one leg out, is almost out of detention. This man is almost out to be released, and the moment they said that, oh, Kenya is mounting pressure on Nigerian government began to say they want to negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu for his release. And the same BUHARI that actually do all this illegal arrest and illegal kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu, immediately they say that Kenya judges is actually mounting pressure on Nigeria, all of that, for Nnamdi Kanu to be released. BUHARI said he's sick in UK. Now he said they admitted him in UK. That I can't respond to anything because they're actually asking him questions. They want him to account for everything that he did as far as the Nnamdi Kanu case is concerned. But he said he's sick in UK. Now drop a opinion in the comment section of this video. Feel free to say your mind, as I'm gonna dedicate that one for you. And share, follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, and on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video, and bye for now.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor with the line on top, be pastor. For LAJUPOG watch TV. Pastor with the back, where politician with the do pass himself. Corrupt leader, why you waiting for church? All as LAJUPOG watch TV.